This video is going to show you how to make a play-along once you have a chart already built. If you want more information on using chart graphics and making custom charts, check out the linked video below. So I have my chart here that I've created for the song Calma by Pedro Capó. First, click on the slide in the thumbnail and copy and paste it by hitting Command-C, Command-V. And then you can see a duplicate slide is made. Next, I'm going to go up into the shapes and add a rectangle and resize it so it's the same shape as one of my measures. Then I'm going to go into Shape Fill and then hit More Fill Colors. Drag the light dark bar all the way to the left to get the full color wheel, and then select your highlight color. I usually go with yellow. Then I'm going to go to the opacity percentage and change it to 70%. Now we have a translucent yellow box in our slide. Then I'm going to duplicate the slide again, move the highlight, and repeat it until I have one slide for each measure. These are the slides we will eventually animate in the video editor to follow the music. Here you can save these slides as PNG image files or the whole PowerPoint as a PDF. I think it's a little easier to save the whole thing as a PDF because if you save it as PNG files, you export each slide individually, whereas if you export it as a PDF, the whole PowerPoint will export as a multiple page PDF. The only thing you need to know is whether or not your video editor supports PDF files. iMovie does, so I'm going to be using those. You'll figure that out when you get to the step of adding the slides to your video editor. So I'm going to save the PowerPoint as a PDF to my desktop, and then drag each individual slide so I have 5 separate pages. Then I'll put them in a folder to keep myself nice and organized. Next, I'm going to open up iMovie and start a new movie project. Then I'm going to drag the slides and the music into the workspace. So I have my slide with no highlight and then one for each measure. I like to start my video with no highlight in case there's some silence or intro before the first chord. Now I just have to sync up the slide changes with the music. So right when the first chord comes in, I'm going to split my slide with no highlight and delete the second part after that split. My slide with the first measure highlight will automatically slide into place. Then I need to find where the second chord happens. When I find that, I can drag the playhead, highlight the slide, and split it. Then, as before, delete the second part, and the next slide will slide right into place. Repeat this process until all of your chords are in time. A few tips you can use here. 1, you can look for peaks in the waveform. Often songs will have spikes in the strong beats from the kick drum, snare drum, or crash cymbals. The song is actually not a very good example of that in the beginning. Another thing you can do is highlight the slide, hit play, and then click Command-B right at the chord change. This will split the slide, allowing you to sync it up by ear. Once I have one round of the chord progression done, I can copy and paste it over and over again. This is easiest with songs that have one repeating chord progression, but the same techniques can be used for songs with a more complex form. Since the song was recorded at a steady tempo, the timing should remain consistent. If I was slightly off in my initial syncing, I can adjust the slides to shorten or lengthen them. Once my chord progression is all set and in time, I can just copy and paste it over and over again. One way I do this is by copying everything, playing the video, and hitting Command-Z, paste, right as I anticipate beat 1 on the start of the progression. This pastes the copied material right where the playhead was when I hit paste, and it will automatically split any slide that is being copied over. So now I basically just play the song and keep hitting paste when I hear the chord progression start over. Do that until you're at the end of the song. At the end, I always like to drag out the last slide so that it lines up with the end of the audio. If you want to add lyrics, you can click on Titles and drag a title screen into the workspace. I'm going to use lower third here. From there, you can either type out the lyrics manually, or as I like to do, copy and paste them from a website. You'll have to edit the text a bit to make sure it fits the screen, so you can see this part of the process can take a little bit of time. Once you're satisfied with your video, hit File, Share, iTunes, and it will be in the Home Movies subfolder on your iTunes movie folder.